Good evening, dumplings.
Sorry, I had to do my granny voice today. Hi, everyone. Kunimitsu here, and you have read the title of this video. I am going to be doing a prediction of essentially, when I think queens are going to go home. So essentially, I'm going to say this disclaimer right out the gate. That way, nobody takes it the wrong way. I do not dislike any of the queens of this season for season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race. So far, these are first impressions. First impressions are never perfect impressions. So if I end up wrong in any of these predictions, I will be happy to be wrong. So with that out of the way, I am going to say who I think will go home first and who I think will be the top 4, because we all know it's not going to be a top 2. We know it's not going to be a top 3. It's been a top 4 pretty consistently since season 9, and if Sherry had not been disqualified, it would have been a top 4 in season 12. Let's be real. We know what was planned. So with that out of the way, I'm going to set some ground rules and explain where I will be basing my predictions. Firstly, I will be paying attention to the Meet the Queens. I know Meet the Queens aren't always the best example, but I do pay attention to certain things in the Meet the Queens. And certain things are typically pretty good giveaways for how a queen does on the season. Secondly, I will be mentioning the Candyland style trailer where they're on the board game. I will be mentioning this, and pretty much because usually when they have those trailers, it's usually kind of giving subtle hints of how the trailers are going to play out. Kind of like All Stars 3's Going for the Gold trailer did. Kind of like how All Stars 4 trailer kind of gave away the placements. Stuff like that. That's what I will be paying attention to. So,
with that out of the way, let's start. We have 14 queens this season. So I will be going through each of them, and I will be saying why I think they would be placed here, and I will give my reasoning. So just to be clear, none of the queens I am predicting to be early outs I dislike. In fact, I actually quite like pretty much everybody in this cast. So far, there's nobody I dislike. Keyword so far. That could change later. So, starting out, I feel 14th place, the first queen that I feel is going to go home first in season 14. I feel it's going to be June Jambalaya. Now, there's a couple reasons why. Firstly, the Meet the Queens. Usually in the Meet the Queens, if a queen talks more about herself and not the actual show, that's usually an indicator that they're either the first to go or a very early out. Perfect example, Serena Chacha. Serena Chacha in All Star 6, her Meet the Queens barely talked about the show. And she was the first to go. And June really did not stand out in the Candyland trailer. She had like one line, kind of was just there. And she didn't really stand out. She really did not stand out at all in the trailer. And her Meet the Queens that really could not tell you nothing about her personality stood out in the Meet the Queens. The only thing that stood out was her saying the line, "I like to wear pretty things and do ratchet things." That's the only thing that really stood out. I'm probably misquoting it, but that's how I remember it being said because my brain is not great. But I think the first to go will be June Jambalaya. I'd love to be proven wrong because from what I've researched on her, she is a killer lip syncer. Like that woman knows how to move. So that is why I think June Jambalaya will be the first to go. 13th place. Second officially eliminated, in my opinion. Just again, basing off of the Meet the Queens and their presence in the Candyland style trailer. I think the second to go will be Alyssa Hunter. Now, Alyssa Hunter is somebody who is very well known, has so many gorgeous over-the-top looks, and overall just radiates, like she radiates fashion. Like her fashion is good. However, my problem with her and why I don't think she's going to make it very far and why I'm placing her here, again, mainly comes down to how she was portrayed. In the Meet the Queens, I remember literally nothing she said in her interview. Nothing. She didn't really talk about the show, which is always not a good sign. She really didn't talk that much about. Basically, what I'm saying is I can't remember anything about her Meet the Queens. There's nothing about her Meet the Queens that stands out. There's nothing about her presence in the Candyland style trailer that stands out. The only thing she does is a death drop, which is good, but nothing that tells me immediately, oh, she's going to do good. Because death drops are so common with these queens these days, which again, that's a good move, hard to do. Not knocking her for it, just saying it doesn't immediately tell me she's going to do good. But overall, just she's not memorable in either one, and she's not really being pushed or advertised that much by the main Wow Presents page, RuPaul's Drag Race page. She's not being she's not being shown that much. She's not being advertised. I would love to be proven wrong because it has been a while since we've had a Puerto Rican queen. And I'm happy that she's here to serve Puerto Rico. But she is just not standing out. So as a result, for me, I think she will be the second to go. Third to go was kind of a hard one to decide. Third to go, in my personal opinion, just mainly because I really cannot see her going beyond this. Twelfth place for me is going to have to be Orion's story. Orion's story is not someone, firstly, she doesn't stand out that much in the Candyland trailer like before, although she does stand out more than the other two. But the trailer just kind of shows her to celebrate and then have her tickets taken away, which tells me she's going to come in overconfident and lose her first lip sync. That's what she's giving me. And her Meet the Queens, while I did laugh at a few parts, again, she's not really talking about the show. She's not talking about why she's proud to be there. She's not talking about why she's excited to represent the brand. She's just kind of there. She talks about, like, she made me, don't get me wrong, she made me laugh. I was living when she said, when she said she was a stoner. I'm like, oh. But other than that, like, nothing about her. No. No.
Sorry, I'm recording a video right now.
Huh? Oh, I'm recording the video right now.
Yeah. Nothing about Orion's story is really standing out. I wish her the best, but I don't see her going beyond third or fourth out. If she makes it past the third episode, I don't picture her making it past the fourth. I'd love to be proven wrong, but so far, nothing's sticking out about her.
Fabulous.
Huh? Let's see. No, I would like to be proven wrong because I'm making like a prediction on when I think they're going to go home this season.
I can really predict that. I watch it.
I know you do,
I've never been proven wrong.
except for like that one where she eliminated herself.
Oh, that's fun.
All right, but so 10th and 11th place is going to have to be for me. I'm gonna have to say, I say 10th and 11th because I feel these two are kind of interchangeable. I feel they will. I feel they will be used for storyline purposes for them being pretty much for the show to do the usual. See, we're being inclusive. We have these different styles of drag. And that is why for 10th/11th, in either order, not both going at the same time, but just either one going after the other.
I think it is going to be between Maddie Morphosis and Carrie Colby. I think either Maddie will go home fourth or Carrie will go home fourth. One of them's going fourth and fifth. I feel they're both going to go around that time, with either one going fourth or fifth. I feel the main reason is, while these two do have more spotlight in the Candyland trailer, and their Meet the Queens stands out a lot more, which would suggest they're at least going to get pushed beyond the early out stages. I feel they're mainly going to be there for storyline purposes of, see, we're inclusive. We have a trans queen. Oh, see, look, we're inclusive. We have a heterosexual queen. That is what I feel is going to happen. I don't think they're going to be pushed very far. I think they'll be pushed. I think they will be pushed far enough because they do show up in the official show trailer, which is another reason why the reason I didn't really bring the official show trailer of the other three. Huh? Hold on. The reason I didn't mention the official show trailer for the first three is mainly because, well, they didn't show up in the trailer. They barely had like one scene in the trailer, and it was a background shot. So not usually a good choice. And Maddie and Carrie both have standout moments in that trailer, which at least tells me they're not anywhere near the first to go. Maddie, it's a little hard to tell. Like her shit. Maddie has a lot of personality in the Meet the Queens. Carrie has a whole lot of personality in the trailer. So I definitely think we're going to get some good confessionals off of them, but I don't think they're going to go very far. So ninth place, I'm going to have to say, is going to have to be, and I really don't want to have to say it like this. Hold on.
Sorry about that. I think
Okay, so sorry about that. Ninth place, I feel, is just mainly she has a lot of spotlight in the trailer, a lot of spotlight in the Candyland style trailer, and her Meet the Queens is a standout. But the reason I'm putting Cornbread in the ninth place is for a couple of reasons. While her personality is definitely a standout and she's definitely showing up in the trailer, the thing that is making me concerned that she's probably not going to go as far as people think she is mainly her Meet the Queens. While it is a standout and it is a funny interview, one of the funniest interviews of the whole cast, the way she talks about the show in the interview makes it sound almost like she doesn't even want to talk about this season at all. And that's usually not a good thing. Usually when, like I said, usually when you have queens in the Meet the Queens and they don't want to talk about the show, they talk more about what they've done. It usually means they didn't have a good run, or at least didn't have as good of a run. So that's why I think she will be ninth place. Eighth place, ooh. You see, this one was a toss-up just because I'll say it like this: eighth to sixth place. I don't imagine, like, pretty much I imagine these next three queens to go in this, between this area in no particular order, just around this point, mostly just because they all kind of gave the same energy in the trailers, in the Meet the Queens, and stuff like that. But eighth, seventh, and sixth place, in no particular order, I feel it would be.
so. Eighth, seventh, and sixth place. In no particular order, I feel is going to be between
That's pretty easy.
Deja,
No particular order.
because they all gave the same energy. It's not really much to predict, but I think it's going to be between Deja
No particular order.
Sky, Jasmine Kennedy, and Georges.
I feel based off of what we've seen in their Meet the Queens, based off of their presence in the Candyland trailer, and all three had some spotlight in the actual show trailer, tells me that they'll at least go halfway. So if I had to say who would go where, between those three, I would say
You did last night no particular order. You did the milk part no particular order. You're very fun in no particular order.
I will say, if I had to pick placements for this, I would say 8th place, Jasmine Kennedy. 7th place, Georges. And 6th place, Deja Sky. If I had to pick the order, but I feel it could go either way for them because they all kind of give the same energy. Big personalities. All three know how to perform. All three have standout spots in the trailer. Yeah, it was not the easiest to predict. 5th place for me is easy. I feel 5th place is going to be Willow Pill. Willow Pill, while she does, again, stand out in the Candyland trailer, has a good Meet the Queen, and does stand out in the trailer. I kind of feel like she'll be that queen that will do pretty good throughout most of the competition, but will start floundering towards the last half. I don't feel she'll have much more to give beyond 5th place, which is still good. Out of 14 queens, that's still good. And my predicted top 4 is going to have to be Lady Camden. Again, stood out very well in both trailers. Had a good Meet the Queens and just gives off very, honestly, of the 4, she's the one that gives off the most winner energy. But that doesn't always mean anything, so we'll just say top 4 for now. Angeria is 100% getting in the top 4. There's no other way around it. A personality like that, there's no way in hell she's not going to kill those acting challenges. There's no way in hell she's not going to kill the snatch game. There's no way in hell she's not going to kill those comedy challenges. I do picture Diabetti making it here too. Looking through her Instagram, has very diverse set of skills. Looking at the Meet the Queens, has pretty standout energy. Looking at her spot in the Candyland style trailer, again, stood out pretty much right out of the gate. And she does have a little bit of a spotlight in the regular show trailer. Basically, she's giving off those vibes that I could see her, that she's kind of giving me Jujubee vibes. I don't think she's going to particularly do the best of the top 4, but I think she'll make it top 4. Bosco stood out in every single area. Trailer, check. Meet the Queens, check. Candyland, check. Like, even her live performances, good. She gives off, I feel, of the top 4, it's going to be between Bosco and Lady Camden. That's what I feel is going to be. And I feel I feel this will be a very interesting season. I'm very excited to see it. I love the diverse cast. We have queens of many races. We have two transgender queens in Carrie Colby and Cornbread. We have a heterosexual queen with metamorphosis, and we have a diverse cast. Every shape and size, it's good. I think this is going to be a very entertaining season, especially looking at what we got in the trailer. It's going to be fun. So these are my thoughts on who I think will go where. Obviously, we'll come back to this video later and see if I got any of it right, any of it wrong. And if I get most of it wrong, great. I love to be surprised. If I get most of it right, great. I predicted it right. Either way, I'm excited for this season. Hopefully the rest of you are too. This has been Kunimitsu signing out.